And they put like an hour between the men's and the. So you're gonna run in the first section then. Might as well fucking do it, man.
Not in the first section. Vet 40 1500 meter champion in Louise Rudd. She's an unknown, having never done a beer mile before. Laura potentially is the quickest point where she was going over 40 seconds for her last beer.
Yeah. So I
but
think
she's a very fast runner, so she was catching in between, and we're expecting her to be a little bit quicker this year.
And our champion from last year, Erin O'Mara, isn't on the start line, but I think I didn't actually count out the splits, but Laura must have run about 20 seconds faster for the mile than she did. Just Erin's great at getting the beers down, so it'll be interesting to see how much Laura's trained on the beers, and is there any inside information there, Andy, from a fellow Englishman?
Well, actually, I have been coaching Laura. So just recently, we've been out doing a couple of sessions in a local park in Chorlton, in Manchester, and Laura was putting the bids down in between 17 and 19 seconds. Since then, I've told her to practice by downing a can every night.
Nice.
Usually Coke, because as you might have seen on the screen, Laura's a big fan of Diet Coke and drinks an amazing 2 liters every day.
So I think what we'll be looking
for miling,
6 ever here.
I would love to think so.
So we can maybe
from any one of these girls.
Yeah, and as we go, as the race begins, we can kind of talk about splits as we go, because I think they'll have to be about of a runner versus a chugger last year. And
Absolutely,
the chugger took the win, but I mean now the runner's been practicing her chug, so she could be deadly out there.
Well, interestingly, Laura was our second runner home last year. It's Polly Keane there, number 1228, which was England's first runner home last year in what still stands as a European record. Polly's an interesting athlete. She's a very, very good
to take on here. So the girls all seem pretty relaxed and having a good time, and at the end of the day, these are people who have traveled across the world to compete, but you know, at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and we'll see how these ladies do. Laura looked like she almost vomited from laughter there.
Laura's almost too relaxed.
But it's fun to see how some people, you know, like Usain Bolt brought it to track about how he's very relaxed on the start line. So there's Nick McFalls in the corner of our review there.
The legend that is.
The man behind it all. He really puts in most of the work in organizing this, so if we see him again, then we'll say thanks.
So very excited about this race. It's going to be a...
No, I don't have it. No.
It's going to be a very interesting race. A lot of unknown quantities.
We're good. Look right here.
Perhaps the favorite, as we've mentioned, Alison Grace Morgan from the USA.
All right, and we've got Josh Muxon out there with the wig on, and he always puts on a great in-stadium commentary. So
you'll notice in the women's race, a lot of there's a difference between bottles and cans. It looks like just Laura there with the cans.
Oh, okay.
Now there is. Here we go.
All right, and the gun is off. We've got the timer right there in the top right corner, so you can follow along. Well, let's see how quick they get it down.
And that looks like Polly Keane is first off the line in a very quick 7 or 8 seconds. And Laura, second off the line, 11 seconds. That's been a superb beer for Laura.
So we'll see how these other girls catch up when the camera pans around the corner. So I'm expecting, as we saw, Laura was quite a bit quicker of a runner than Polly. So I'm sure she'll catch up soon, as we're seeing.
And already you can see there Laura Riches passing Polly Keane to take the lead.
So
and that was a very quick pair by both of those girls. I clocked that at around 7 to 8 seconds for Polly and 11 seconds for Laura. I mean, that's much improved on her previous chugging. So she's obviously been practicing hard.
So I think this may be similar to last year, where we see Laura run away with it early, and we'll see if Allison and the other girls can reel her in the chugs. I think the real test of beer miles is the second and the third beer when you're out of breath, you know. So if Andy's been coaching well here, hopefully she can be under 20 seconds on each of them. But we're about to see.
Well, she certainly put that first one away quickly.
Like we said, 90 seconds is world record pace, so she's on about.
So she's coming in at 78. I mean,
80, so that's 520.
That is very impressive.
520 pace. She's gonna obviously slow down, as we spoke before. You know, the
she
beers are hard to get.
will. She
so
always
watch
struggles.
Allison here. You'll see Allison.
Stop
she's
talking,
a chugger.
Laura.
So she's quite the good chugger. So we'll see who gets out of this second zone quicker. Polly's looking good.
It looks like Polly's looking good.
Polly's might be the top chugger in the field here.
Oh, but Laura's also getting towards the end of that beer. And she's out first. Fantastic beer by Laura. And she was out in about 142. That's really good.
So we've got the rest of our field here on the screen. So that's Karen ramming there on the right, I believe. But Laura with a great beer there. The girls.
Very good.
She was maybe a few seconds slower, but the run definitely was making up for the difference.
Absolutely. And we see Bryony and Louise there. Louise, as I say, she was drinking those cherry fruit beers.
So yeah, we'll see where they come around here the second time. That's the rest of our field. So all the girls are off.
Oh.
Even 220.
Oh, there was almost an early spew there.
All right.
From Sweden.
Yeah. So where are we? Okay, so Laura's already coming around, about 150 to go. And let's see how her running is doing. So it looks like she's got about 60 meters on the field. We'll see. See, Allison ran a 6:0. I think it was a 6:05 at flow track before being disqualified.
Wow.
So okay, so we're coming in right around 255. So that was.
This is an impressive run by Laura Riches. 255 at halfway. She's on for sub-6, but of course we do expect her to slow down. We have Nick McFalls there shouting words of encouragement to Laura as she tries to get down this third beer.
So Allison's looking real aggressive on this chug. Oh, she's taking a break. This is a good three-horse race we've got here.
This is a very good race between these three girls. And look at Polly Keane.
Polly's going to have
really putting that down, and Laura
again.
Riches is away. She's away on 320.
So
and there goes the other two girls. They're away.
Know what? They usually, so that's 3 beers down in 2 laps. They've only got 1 to go. And I think it's safe to say we can assume that Laura has the best leg speed over the last 400.
You would imagine so.
As long as the beer's not coming back up. That's we've all had that trouble before. So
I had it last year, Lewis, as you remember.
Oh, as did I. I was quite pathetic the second half. So you know, it happens to the best of us, and it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out.
Louise Rudd there, and
Karen ramming on the inside.
And it's Bryony Pierce that's looking like she's going to get away next.
So
Louise is the faster runner.
As long as there's not, you know, a reversal of fortune, it kind of looks like the medals have been locked up. But we'll see when they're coming around. It looks like Laura's got slightly less of a gap on Allison there as she's rounding the bend than last lap. So it's really going to be a tight one here.
It's going to be a very good finish. It's very exciting
finish.
And we could be looking at a world record here.
We could be. So pace would have been 4:30 roughly. So we'll see where Laura's at. If she's coming to the zone,
she is in at 4:35, 4:36.
If she has a quick last lap here, this could be because we're looking at 6:17, I believe.
6:17 is what I was told is the official world record.
Yeah. Allison's
getting
that
this
beer
slowly.
down.
Oh, she looks fast.
We're also going to have to see how the judges are doing on the leftover.
Wow. Look at that bear.
Allison's
was,
down.
Oh!
I believe that's a spew.
Oh!
I think that's they both.
I think they both just went.
I think they both are out. I think.
And here we have Polly King. Maybe the only one that's going to keep the bears down.
Polly King
She
jogging in for the win.
She's keeping it down. We said Polly Keane was a very good drinker. We just seen a spew from both of the top two ladies in this race.
And as I just said, the medals were certain. It seems like 2 of our top 3 will not be in the top 3.
Well, we'll wait for a judgment on that, but it looked like there was a spew from both.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So these
we'll
girls,
see if they're gonna
the girls on the track
lap.
won't be aware that those girls have spewed, so they'll think they're racing for 4th and 5th. But
and there's actually a medal up for grabs here.
So Polly's in the lead. Karen could.
Oh, there's another spew from Sweden.
So Sweden's out. So our other girls in the zone coming in next are now the favorites to come 2nd and 3rd.
Louise Rudd's got a grimace on the face there.
So
she's drinking those 2 cherry beers. I think there's 1 strawberry, 1 raspberry.
It looks like they're all in a bit of trouble right now, doesn't it, Andy? It looks like they're all in a bit of
trouble.
trouble.
They're all in trouble here.
I think our leader's coming around the final bend.
But Bryony Pierce just nails hers.
Okay, so she's in 2nd.
She's in fantastic shape.
She's now in 2nd.
She's looking great.
So Laura, they're both going for another lap here. They're both running another lap. They're both running another lap. Allison's got. I think Allison's got.
Letting Allison get away with that one. It was maybe just a small.
That's the judgment call on the field. We need to wait and hear about that. We'll report back. And there's Polly Keane.
It was maybe.
It's going to be an interesting decision there. That Allison. What was her cross? She must have been just around 6:20 low there.
Yeah, I think it was a 6:21.
What we're gonna do is Andy will stay on the mic, and I'm gonna go get a field report on the call on Allison there. If that's
let's.
Okay, I'll be back with intel in about 60 seconds.
And I will try and keep you entertained. So you'll know a lot of different interesting choices of beer. There's lots of debates whether. Oh, and there's another spew there. Oh, that was quite a big one there from Karen Ramming.
Karen's out. Ask him to play that. You can play that. Yeah, let's keep playing that. Saying like it's under review because I can't. It was enough. Yeah, can we play that back?
So
it looks like we're going to get a replay of Alison Grace Morgan's 3rd beer.
Or 4th beer.
Yeah. I apologize.
So what we saw there, and you can see again here, is Laura Riches on her 4th beer. As she finished it, it came back up, and that was quite obvious. Yeah. Allison, we're about to see a live replay of Allison's 4th beer, and we're here.
Oh,
and as you see there, Karen Ramming had a reversal
on
of fortune
the move.
as well.
Oh,
that's how you watch it. Right?
So we've got Nick McFalls, our head judge and meet organizer here, and he's going to watch the live replay with us, and he's going to make the official decision on Allison Grace Morgan, so we know if Polly or Allison were our winner there.
Yeah.
So as soon as we can get the live replay on screen here, then
I was gonna say it's close, and I didn't make the call right away.
Yeah, this is meet official. We're waiting for the replay, and it was really close. Whether that's a puke or a spit. So we don't. Obviously, it's a world championship race, and we want to make the right call. So. Back to Lewis.
Well, it's we'll just await that decision, but certainly Laura Riches was made to do a penalty lap for her spew. It was an embarrassment of riches. Different interesting here we got Sweden. Choices of beer. Just finishing the last beer. Also, lots of debates whether.
So
and there's another one. Oh, and there's another spew there.
Oh, Karen's.
Oh, that was quite a big one there.
I'm not gonna she's on camera live for that. So we're just waiting for that live replay still, but we've got Nick McFalls in the booth here. So, so momentarily it should appear again on the live feed. The moment where we saw Laura and then Allison both have the beer come back up. So we're gonna get a live. We're gonna get a live on the stream, I believe, as well. But as we're out here,
there it is. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So we've got Karen finishing up here. She'll be doing another 400 after this one.
So come over here and look. Oh, that's it.
That's it. Can we show it?
Yeah.
Can we put it?
Well, let's show this replay to the viewers.
Can we see it on the live feed? Yep, it's going to be going up momentarily. If you're out there, this is the
roughly.
So we'll see where Laura's at. If she's coming to the zone, I guess. She's in
at 4:35,
She's a quick last
and
lap
there's
here.
Allison,
Actually, I think because we're looking at 6:17, I believe.
6:17
Oh, this is the replay. So here's your fourth beer. It was a very competitive field. They're both being pressured by each other.
Allison's getting there slowly.
First, I believe.
Oh, she looks fast.
I don't know who's. We're also going to have to see how the judges are doing on the leftover.
Wow. Look at that bear.
And
I
believe that's
clear. There you go.
I think that's quite clear from both.
I think they both just went.
I think they both are out. We're going to show that to you one more time. Nick McFalls wants to confirm our live, our head official and speed director here. So we'll see where Laura's at. Yep. She's coming to the zone. For sure.
She's enjoying 35.
We're going to give you one more shot here. So if you take a look, we're looking at 6:17 you see Allison first.
6:17
and then Laura.
What I was told. That's right.
Yeah. So you see Allison on the right of screen now with the USA symbol on.
Getting there slowly.
We're getting oh,
she looks fast.
To decide. We're also going to have to see how the judges are doing on the leftover.
Wow. Look at that bear.
Allison,
I
believe that's up, and then you see Laura come up. You see it again here.
I think they both just went.
I think they both.
It was projectile. Both of them just couldn't quite fit it in.
So the beermile.com rules are kind of, there's a gray area. There's a gray area, and sometimes you burp a bit of foam and you spit it out, and that's kind of not very much a disqualification. That's kind of in between. But you can see there both times liquid came out when they burped. So we've got the official review here that Allison and Laura have both had to do a penalty lap, and we don't know. I'm not sure who actually ended up finishing second and third there. Yeah. Paulie Keene took the win after the disqualifications. Okay. And we're just waiting for the official results now to see how the rest of them.
And we still have to go back to the measuring table.
Yep. Okay. So
and
just.
So yeah, get a camera on that.
Yep. So
it may have been Bryony Pierce there that took second place, which would
an English sweep could potentially have happened there. Maybe.
It could quite potentially, but I think Louise Rudd may have come in third, so that could have been an English clean sweep.
Black and white. It's quite unfortunate, but
and there's Laura's on the move.
I think what will be quite interesting is, apart from Paulie, the rest of the field seemed to be staying there for quite a while. So Laura actually may have came back in for a medal. It could. I'm not saying it happened.
That would be an amazing feat if she did have to do an extra lap and medal.
That'll be our first time at an international race, world stage race, that someone has penalty lapped for a medal.
Wow,
that would be quite the feat.
That would be quite the thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll await the results and see exactly where we stand on that. But certainly, Paulie Keene, very impressive drinking. Not as quick as the other girls, but
very patient. The other girls tried to run away with it and got very competitive, which is great. But she was patient, and I mean, a couple reversal of fortunes later, and she's our winner for the. I'm pretty sure we're safe to say she's the winner, unless she's gone over. So we're waiting for the beaker results. So one of us are gonna go run out there and check.
So let's just
So here's Karen Ramming again of the USA. She had quite a few unfortunate ones on the live feed here. So we're just getting a couple replays. So
she really just did not hold that one down at all. I'm pretty sure that was a full bear right there.
And I know she was a late addition, so she picked up those Brooklyn Lagers this morning. So I don't know if she was
hey, that's my fault. I think that's
so maybe Andy. Disqualifications on the women's side, and Andy's gonna hold true to you here.
Okay, so yeah, what was a very interesting race there. Laura Riches and Alison Grace Morgan just exchanging the lead, to and fro in. Favorite beer of his, and a couple of the guys in the field, I know, have struggled to find the beers. Now, this is a problem that some of the guys have with it being hosted in London. In America, where the rules are come from, it's the rules specify 355 milliliter bottles of beer of over 5% alcohol content, and you'll find it fairly difficult to find beers of that quantity and percentage in the UK.
Yeah.
So,
sorry to interrupt here, Andy. I've got some important news. Paulie Keane has gone over 4 ounces on. So our
wow,
3 leaders there the whole time. She's officially been handed a red card, which means she's gone over 4 ounces. And there was another girl out there. I didn't see the name on the list, but she was red carded as well. So
wow, this
we're trying.
is
We're
an interesting.
We don't know who the top 3 is. It may be the 3 that have finished and got the beers down. Because
could it be that Laura Ridges still won despite having penalty lap?
you know what? That's actually possible. So we're gonna try and get a camera onto the track. We're not sure if this is possible yet. We're gonna try and get a camera down on the track, and if we can, I'm gonna grab the top 3 girls and interview them live on the live feed, just to get their opinions on, obviously Lauren Allison had an upchuck there, and I'm sure Paulie will be a little disappointed that she did seem to be close to 4 ounces, but it was closer to 5 than it was to 4. So that's unfortunate as well. Especially out of the bottles. I mean, I would have been most concerned about Laura out of the can. It's harder to get all the beer out the can. But back to what Andy was saying, the struggle over there is, over here all the bottles are around 330 or 300 mils.
Yeah, mostly 330s, some 300s, as you guys will know.
Where the history of that comes from is, originally when the beer moss started, you could only use cans. So all cans in North America, Canada or America, the rules are actually from Canada, and it was cans. And John Markell coming up in the next race, if you want it one more time, it's on the live feed, but we've talked about it enough. The unfortunate upcoming for Allison there. But the rules come from cans, so all cans in North America are 12 ounces, so 355. That's why when you switch to bottles, you can sub in a bottle, but it has to be the same size. So in Canada, we have 341 bottles, so we have the same problem as over here, apart from specific craft breweries. So that's why I use Amsterdam. But yeah, there obviously is the struggle of getting the right size, but I think most of our elites, at least most of our elite men, have been taken care of. Okay, so I think we've got our 3 elite women standing right there. We're going to find out right now if we can get a camera on them and a mic to interview how they're feeling after quite an exciting women's, to start the evening. That was quite the exciting race, wasn't it?
It was a very exciting race, and it all happened there. We saw some fast running, some fast drinking, and lots of puking. So, as we've just seen a fantastic women's race there, it all happened. We're going to take a break now from the live commentary for 10 minutes. We'll continue the feed, but you won't hear anything from us for another 10 minutes until we go live for the first section of the men's race, which will be the men's B section. Okay.
head to head, and everything fell apart in that fourth chug zone for everyone.
Absolutely, and that's one of the first beer miles that I've ever been able to watch at the elite level, not competing myself, and that was crazy. You know, there are issues out there with the amount of beer left over. There are issues with people needing penalty laps, and you know, as we're looking at right now, there are people.
That was the first beer, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, the first beer, but there are people that think they didn't spew, but they spewed, and you know, it's crazy.
And I mean, we can both talk from it. I mean, you've raced internationally, you've raced in 3.
Yep.
Now, so yeah, you've done 1 World Classic, 1 Flow Track, and then the Australian Beer Mile earlier this year.
Yep.
When you have that crowd there, I mean, on the left of your camera now, there is quite a few. I'd say at least over 100 people here. It's just when you get into that zone. When you get into the chug zone, you're really in the zone. So you don't really remember what happens. It just kind of happens. So I'm not sure if this is our 4th beer here. I think it's the second one. The second one. But Laura, we just talked to Laura Riches on the track, and she looked at me and said, "Did I actually spew there? Did it actually come up?"
Yeah.
Because she just didn't remember.
Yeah,
she's so in the zone.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know, because there's that 50-50 between a definitive yes or no, and I think that's what it came down to in the end out there.
Yeah, so I mean, we can also both talk to you've been there before, and I think you could kind of I think you can talk about it from Texas. I know you, Chris, and Phil were very close in December in each chug zone, or at least you and Phil, and you feel the pressure of the other person there, right? So we saw the two of them on the live feed there, really on each other's shoulders.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I know from personal experience, it's not a time trial out there. So when you go out and time trial, it's a lot easier. You don't really feel that pressure, but you know, when you're trying to gain places at a world championship, then you know, you really feel that pressure. And I know personally, I came under that at the World Classic in 2015, and you know, there was no buts about my vomit, that's for sure. Everyone saw it, and it was a definite.
Yeah, so it really, going to these men's races, we really need to take into consideration that all 3 of the girls we laid out there or the top 2 at least, as our heavy favorites, who had never had a vomit in a race before, they both had it come up. So no one's safe in the beer mile.
That's right. Yeah, and anything can happen, and you know that I don't think there's a beer miler out there that's never had a bad day.
For sure. Yeah. Apart from a very few that have maybe only done a handful.
Yeah.
If you've done 10, then you've had at least one bad one. So as you see there, that's some of our elites jogging around, getting warmed up for their race.
Is that Michael Johnson out there, Garrett Cullen by the looks of it?
Yeah.
There's Michael Cunningham just walking through the finish line there. He's a sub 4 minute miler, isn't he, Michael Cunningham?
Yeah, he's run a 3:59 road mile, I believe.
Yep.
So sub 4 miler.
Interesting to see what shape he's in. I'm not sure he's at his peak physical shape, but he'll be out there giving it his best shot, no doubt.
He, if you tuned into the first ever Flow Track World Championships in 2014. He gave Corey Gallagher, the heavy favorite going into that, who had the most veteran of the field, gave him a run for his money right to the last chug. So
yeah, I thought in that race that he might have taken it in the end, but Corey's last lap was great that day.
Yeah. So just for an updated schedule, over here it is 8:20 right now. Depending on where you're tuned in from the Worlds, I think around 8:40 is the plan for the first men's section. They've planned in a break here because we're in London, England, where the IAAF World Champs are going on right now, and Mo Farah is towing the line any second. But Josh, you're actually not only a beer miler, but you're an elite level marathoner. So I know you had quite an unfortunate experience this year in London, but do you want to give us a rundown of kind of your marathon in December to now, kind of your breakthrough in the last 12 months?
Yeah, absolutely. So after my beer mile worlds in December, you know, it was into marathon training for me, and I went to the Lake Biwa Marathon in Japan in March and run the qualifying standards. So I was lucky enough to make the Australian team for the World Championships this week. And I was unfortunate that I picked up a stress fracture in my talus in the week leading up to the race, which is why I'm not out there on the track competing today, and why I only managed to make 28 kilometres in the marathon last Sunday. But it was an amazing experience, and definitely motivated to be back out there in 2019 in Doha, hopefully.
Perfect. So yeah, Josh, just a bit of a background. Josh is, I guess we haven't even given my beer mile background yet, but I'll talk about Josh first, and maybe I'll talk about me. But Josh has run a 4:51 beer mile before, which I think to be competitive today for a medal, if the men's race is a bit more put together than the women's, we'll probably be looking at around a low 440 to mid 440 for a medal.
Yep.
The men's world record sits at 434 by Corey Belmore from this race last year. He unfortunately could not attend as he's competing in the World University Games in Taipei, I believe, next week. So he kind of decided to focus on that. So it's unfortunate we don't have here, but 451 by all rights would have been right in it for the medals, as the beer mile's been big for a few years, but by no means does that mean the ones of us that have been around have hit our peak yet. So definitely unfortunate that Josh couldn't race this weekend, but we're looking forward to seeing him in a few months once he's recovered, back on the marathon scene and the beer mile scene itself.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you've said previously, but conditions look perfect out there.
Yeah,
they look ideal for beer miling. If you're in shape out there and you have a good day, then I think there are some guys out there that are in the shape that they can really take some good chunks off their times. I think
definitely
Dale Clutterbuck would be one that could potentially do that, I think.
For sure. And like we said, you can see it on the live feed there. It is a bit cloudy, so hopefully the rain holds off for us. We maybe pull up a weather report and we'll see. But if the rain holds off, the temperature is not too hot, not too cold. Perfect. There looks like no wind out there, so there's no reason we can't see a phenomenal run tonight. And it's going to be interesting because last year at the race, if you tuned in, Corey took the pace out from the gun and Dale went with him, but he ran an incredible 4:47 in his first ever beer mile. So I mean, if he's been practicing this year, he has. He's been posting like weekly or bi-weekly blogs for his last 400. So
yeah, Phil.
Yeah, so we've got Phil on the screen. Phil is a roommate and teammate of mine and quite good friends, Josh.
Yep.
Me and Josh with him. He's got that 4:55, and that's from last summer. It says at the bottom there, 2-time Kingston Cup winner. So for those of you tuning in, it's more of a thing for the men's than for the women's because we had a small women's field. How the team competition works is top 3 are scored cross-country style. So you take the place of your top 3 from your country, and the lowest score wins. So Team Canada won last year and the year prior, but Team Canada's got a little bit of a change of face this year because last year, it would have had to been a disaster because I even had a bad run, but Corey was so strong and we had such depth. So, but this man, he hasn't. This is his first World Classic, Corey Gallagher.
It is, yeah. He wasn't here the first year. He was injured last year. So this guy's one of the great beer milers of all time. 4:54.4. I thought he might have done it a little bit quicker myself, but this guy has been one of the pioneers. I know when I was beer miling a few years ago, it was me and Corey trying to break the world record from Jim Finlayson, and this guy is a beer mile. He knows how to run a beer mile.
We're here in our announcing booth, and we've got Allison Grace Morgan live here on our feed. So we're just going to ask Allison a few questions about that run that you saw about 30 minutes ago now. Allison, do you want to just give us a bit of input? How obviously, that wasn't what you expected and didn't come here to do, but
right.
I mean, at the same time, do you want to give us a bit of your recap felt throughout the race? And
sure.
Just, because you're still within your first I don't know what point that's okay. So that's after you'd run a penalty. If we could get her coming back up on the screen, that would be great on her 4th beer, so you can kind of see what it looked like on the live feed.
Well, yeah, because you don't know these little technicalities.
Yeah, for sure.
Then they're like, well, you foamed out, and I was like,
yeah,
that
so
counts as thrown up,
You'll see right here what we're talking about. Yeah. But so do you want to give us a bit of your background in running apart from beer miling, because you're a sponsored Brooks Elite athlete.
Right.
So do you want to give us some of your background?
Sure. I've been pretty much running track and roads since, well, I went to college, ran track, cross country there.
Yep.
And then after that, I ran for a professional group in North Carolina called Zap Elite.
Cool.
For 5 years, and then continued my professional career. And so I did the 5K, 10K on the track, occasional 1500s, and I do a lot of trails and road running.
Okay,
so
cool.
I am more, but I like the challenge of the beer mile because.
Here you see it right here.
Oh,
you can see it. So that's quite that's quite live. But I mean,
so that's enough to
enough to come up and counter for a disqualification. But while we're on air here, Josh, Allison, and I are all sponsored by Brooks Running, so we definitely want to give a thanks. And
there you go.
you know, while some other companies may kind of be a bit against, I don't know what's going on screen here. We'll get back to it.
Is that?
Seems like it might be a 20 meter chug,
Wait,
20 meter sprint with chugs in the middle.
who does that?
We don't actually know what's happening right now, but he's got to put it over his head to show it's finished.
I think I might have tilted it back too far.
Oh, that looks so. You know what? That looked okay on the inside.
Is he wearing a
Oh, we had tumble there in lane 3.
That guy has the best tights.
Okay, yeah. So you know, the award for best dressed will go to him, but I think the other guys
Sure,
got him
sure.
down here. So it looked like it was a 20-meter dash with 2 beers.
Nice.
I've never seen that before, so you know, I think they're gonna let him get away with that. But yeah, we'd all obviously like to extend our thank you to Brooks out there
Thank
for
you,
this.
Brooks,
I mean,
yes.
Josh doing his elite marathoning, and you're still
Yes.
training your elite training, so they make it possible for us to train the way we do. And I mean, I may not be in elite for running, but they allow me to continue to beer mile. So
Right.
they're very the run happy kind of slogan
They
goes along
are.
with the beer mile,
Good
right? So
people, right.
very very nice. Oh, there's
What
it's
the
a
heck?
so it's a 30. It's
Wait, it's literally
I don't
like
know-
a few steps and then you do it
we don't
again.
know if it's a 30-meter dash or a 40-meter dash. They're on beer 3 right now. I think it was a 30-meter there.
Let's focus in on those tights though.
Yeah. Little zoom. But yeah, definitely them allowing us to do this. And, you know, they're even promoting and backing us doing this, like, support of
Right.
lots of sponsors. So I know in Australia, Josh also has Van Diemen behind him as well now, too. So
Mhm.
it's been great for keeping us training hard. And we appreciate the support from them and being very not only understanding, as some other companies have kind of backed away, the
Right.
bigger companies, and not wanted to get invested in it, you know,
Right.
they understand that it provides a lot of quality entertainment, and at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, and that's what Brooks is about, right? Kind of getting
Sure,
people
it
active
is,
no matter
yeah.
what. So I know dozens of friends that just do the beer mile and don't actually run. So
Right.
but yeah, so I mean, well, we're sorry with how that ended up, Allison, but you know what?
It's all right.
You know what they say, a third time is a charm.
Yeah, I'm getting it. You
So
know?
maybe we'll see a little more practice for the next one, and you know, you're gonna.
Yeah.
We know that you guys were on. I don't know if you guys saw the clock, but you guys were on world record pace halfway
We
through.
were?
So
Okay.
you're around just under 3 minutes at the half.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're gonna have Josh Harris interview Laura now,
yeah.
if that's okay.
Yes,
So
thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us, Allison.
Yep. Thank you.
So Josh is gonna come on and interview Laura now, and she's gonna see for the first time live here her reversal of fortune, we'll call it. So Josh is gonna ask a few questions here to Laura.
You, Josh.
So, Laura, talk us through how the race played out as far as you're concerned.
Take a look on the screen here, you'll see it.
Well, I drank the beer way quicker than I did last year.
Yeah, so
It
I
wasn't
think
pleasant at all. It was disgusting, actually.
that's the moment there that cost you, that meant that you had to do the penalty lap, I think.
Well, I thought the American was sick, so I thought, shit, I better start running really fast. And as soon as I started running fast, I was sick. So
Yeah, so, okay, how many beer miles have you done now? This
this is number 2.
No,
The first one was last year when I was pulled in 5 minutes before the race.
So this was your second beer mile, and you were on world record pace for the majority of the race. That's
I
that's
know,
a great
but
effort.
I shouldn't have been sick, really, should I? Because I could have won.
So talk us through how you felt at say the halfway point today.
Halfway, I drank my second beer really fast, and I remember last year the second beer took me about 50 seconds. So I was like, wow, this took me about 10 seconds. I was like, off I go, and then I got to the final can, and I thought the American was sick, so I thought, oh my god, like I better go as fast as I can. And as soon as I started running, the froth of the can just came everywhere, and
So do you think the fact that you saw Alison do that, do you think that
that was
made
the
you
reason.
do it?
I completely think that was the reason. As soon as I thought she was sick, I was like, oh my god, I'm winning now.
Yes.
And off I went, because I thought maybe if I started running after this one, she'd finish her beer ahead of me.
Yeah, so
I just went ahead, and then I thought she was sick, so I
I think we're watching
set
it
off.
now on the screen. Oh, yep, there we
see
go.
she was sick. That's why.
And then, yeah, so it's a bit of a flow-on effect. So I guess that's part of the championship racing, and I guess something that as you get more experience that you'd like to work on.
I think in the future, yeah, like definitely I think I can go a lot quicker if I'm not sick. I think the world record's there. So I was just saying to a few of the England guys then that next week I'm gonna have a go because I'm very annoyed right now.
So next week you're going to try and take
Next
down the world
week
record
I'm
in a
gonna
time trial.
yeah.
Yep. How
As soon as I'm back from the from London, I'm gonna I'm gonna have a go.
So obviously today didn't quite pan out perfectly, but you still seem pretty jovial and happy after the race.
It was just I came straight from the track just putting out the hurdles, and I think my foot is probably broken, so I thought I'll just give it a go anyway, and the alcohol will numb it, won't it? So
are you helping out with the IAAF World
yeah,
Champs?
I put all the hurdles and the steeplechase
Yep.
and stuff. So I've been there all week, which has been great, and I missed Mo Farah and Usain Bolt tonight to be here. So
So did I. So that's
well,
two
we're
of
stupid,
us.
aren't we?
Okay, so what's the plans from here on in tonight? Is the beer mile, is that the end of your night, or do you kick on with the other beer milers for a few more drinks?
I think I'll watch on as the rest of them get very drunk. I don't really drink a great deal, so I'll probably just watch the night unfold, and our captain will probably be very drunk by the end of the night. So
just on the screen, one of our highlights from the women's race there. Fantastic.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Do you have any tips for the men's race? Who do you think's going to win it?
I think Dale Clubbook's a strong favourite. I've seen a lot of videos literally all over YouTube and Facebook for the last month. So I think he's in great shape to run fast and drink fast, as he's always has been. From St Mary's, he was always our rival when we were at Birmingham. So I shouldn't really be cheering him on, but as soon as he's running for England, I guess I've got to.
It's going to be a great race, and I've seen all the videos myself, and they've been fantastic. So thanks for joining us up in the commentary box here, and well done on the performance today.
Thank you. Thanks.
This isn't an
they'll come out.
The men's
They've been doing
faster section. You all have numbers, which on your beers, which is the numbers that you wish on the table. So Dale, who's our number one, gets first pick. Chris Robinson gets second pick, and so on and so on. So right after the first heat ends, have your beers in hand, come and be ready to race.
Input 1. Potentially, yeah, we just got it live. Okay. So we can head to actually sort of men's race will be after. Yeah. Thank you, fingers crossed, yeah. Right, okay, so is it Mike or plus 48? Is it Fancy Power or is it Mike? So I got this wrong at the cross country, the full Kirk one, didn't I? Yeah. And then got it right the second time round. So, input 1. Over 5, 9.
What's the battery life for this?
Not sure. It probably phantom. Probably means it's going off the camera. And because the camera's in there, it should be fine. Right. Okay. Yeah. Great thing. Down this way, we're going to try the mic and the third camera. Can you let us know if you can hear me talking into it when I speak into it in a second? No way.
I can't hear you, mate. You didn't have any headphones. Just be good with control.
All right, hello everyone tuned in. This is Lewis Kent again. If you had tuned in for our women's race, it was one of the most interesting races we've seen for an international beer mile, with everything from people having the beer come back up to disqualifications. We're just testing the mic right now on the live feed, which is okay. You may lose me for a sec, but I don't think you will. Okay, so we're good. What we're doing there is testing the track mic so we can do some post-race interviews after the men's. We tried to do that for the women's, but we ended up bringing them in here to the audio booth. So hopefully after the first men's section, we'll be able to get some of them interviewed before the second one. So in our first men's section coming up, how I was explaining earlier is the men's are scored by team. So we have full teams from USA, Canada, England, Scotland, and Australia, I believe. We do have individual competitors from other countries like France. So how it works is it's cross-country scored. So you have the top 3 finishers from each country. They will compile the results from both sections, and the top 3 finishers, doesn't matter about time at all. So this is strictly about placing. After they compile both the results from both sections, they will take the top 3, and the lowest score wins from the top 3 places put together. So here's our preview for men's section number 1, elite. So we got Todd T. Rose from the US. So Todd would be in the master section if we had a master section. His beer mile PR is 5:38 on the right there. He will be one of the only elites you see today using cans. He's been doing beer miles for years, and he swears by the can. So a lot of the guys you're going to see in this first section either are kind of in the 5:20 up range, so they're a little bit slower, compared to the first section will be about 5:20 and under, or there may be guys who are doing their first international beer mile ever. So all of them have done beer miles before. Just some of these guys may be doing their first ever elite one in the world stage. So John Sparkle Markle, he is one of the founders of the beer mile. So he was there in the early 1990s when the rules were written. So you see there the Kingston rules co-written. So those are just the basic rules that you must drink a beer that's 355 milliliters or 12 ounces. It must be 5% alcohol. And he was there well before all this happened, about 25 years ago, and they were on tracks after dark doing the beer mile just for bragging rights. There was none of this online streaming stuff. It was 5 to 6 of them out on the track having a good time. So Michael Cunningham, in 2014, the first ever international beer mile, he was the runner-up to Corey Gallagher, who's also he'll be in our second section. But Michael Cunningham has run a 5:07 beer mile before, but I think he's just a little bit out of form. Not against him, but I don't think he's been doing as much training for it this year. So he'll be one of the more experienced beer milers in this field. But so 4, we've got Kevin English, our only Irishman in the field, I believe. So he's the number 2 all time, according to beermile.com for Irishmen. He's run a 5:51. This so Josh has tuned in with us now again, I believe.
Yeah. Hi, I'm back.
So this race is going to be, some of these guys inexperienced on the world stage. So like we said, we were talking about off mic there, more challenged by men, and each international one more.
One of the top beer milers in the world. Some of these guys will be trying to, run a performance that gets them into the top race next year.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of the time we see the top 2 or 3 guys from this race go low 5 minutes, and that's enough to qualify for the top one next year because, we lose guys in the top section, whether it's me and Josh to injury or people just kind of stop doing it. So,
last year you had Jim Finlayson and Michael Johnson in this race, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Top class athletes.
So
Michael Cunningham on the start line there, he doesn't quite look in his peak shape, but I think that means he's going to be quick off the first drink. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that means he's been getting a few more beers in. Yeah. So I think he'll be quick off the line. But, you know, there's also some very elite runners on this line. I know in the Canada singlet, you can see there 1224, I believe. That's Gabe Giglioni, and he's a late addition, as Corey Belmore and I had to pull out. He's been traveling the world for the last 3 months. He hasn't been home to Canada in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
He's been in India for 2 months, and then he was in Japan and Thailand for a bit. But, you know, it's going to be interesting. We've given him some tips, and he's really fit. He ran 18, I think 30-something for a 6K. So
okay, yep. So that's good. So he's wearing a glove too, which is obviously a little bit of a trick of the trade. So should help him out.
Yeah, for sure.
These guys look excited. Andy Norman's decided to toe the line.
Yeah, so Andy, you see numbers are wearing out there.
12:20.
Yeah, 12:20. So he's got the red at the top. We expect him to slow, but that's really good.
Andy Norman having a good run. The injury doesn't seem to be affecting him at this point.
So if Gabe can do this in one go, he'll have a big lead.
John Markle having a good start.
John is, and Michael Michael Cunningham had a good beer there as well, but he seems to be struggling a bit on the run. So we're going to get the whole field here. So that's Michael Cunningham on the left of screen.
Well, Cunningham, if he's drinking this well, you know, if he's just getting around these laps, he could really hold off some of these less experienced athletes.
So what we're likely to see here, but I mean, you never know with the beer mile, is this third beer is really going to separate the field. It really separates the elites from the sub-elites. That's Todd Rose in the USA kit there on the left of screen, and we've got some English runners. So
just passing Cunningham there.
So I think we're going to get a zoom out here because Gabe will be coming into the chug zone very soon. There he is.
2:21.
So 2:30 would be 5-minute pace, but even, like I said, he's only run about 5:30, so a 5:10 would be incredible run.
Definitely on pace to smash his best.
So if he can keep these down, let's hope. So here's Gabe Giglioni. He's been practicing the chug like they've been smooth.
Yep.
There have been about 7 to 8 seconds each time, so he's doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
He's got it. That's clean. That's clean. 2:45.
That's a great beer.
So Andy Norman's holding on a second here. It's quite an exciting race for him, seeing he just decided to race.
Yep, and he's definitely a seasoned drinker, that's for sure. A lot of English guys in there. Todd Rose coming in. Markle's
in the back there. You see Denniston had a spew there for Scotland in the back.
Oh.
So Gabe took off. Andy is off, and that's Laurie off now as well. So Cunningham's still in the zone, but he'll get the beer down, no problem.
There it is.
Two
Americans just left. Cunningham easily on the beers.
So I don't think we'll have to worry about Cunningham finishing the beers here because he's definitely most experienced.
Yep.
So we've got Gabe.
Oh, that's a big one.
So Denniston, that's Tyler Denniston for Scotland. He will be doing an extra lap today.
Absolutely will.
So 3:45 here would be. So Gabe's coming around the corner there. That's just Phil Peromigas cheering him on.
Probably going to be sub 4 coming into the last one, which will have him on for, I'd say, about 5:15.
Yeah, and this is big for the second race. We know in the top race, a lot of people don't have good runs, so this could really help Team Canada. We really need Gabe for a good run here. If Team Canada is going to win this thing, he needs to really push because it is a timed final.
And this is good. Not being challenged, I think he'll be pretty relaxed.
So without international experience, it helped Gabe being in this one.
Yeah.
So he could run it like a time trial.
Absolutely.
And he's looked clean.
There's no.
I really doubt he's been over. Yeah. So 4:10 going to the last lap. I think he should be close to around under 70 for sure.
Yeah.
So hopefully he pulls in sub 5:20 and there's Tyler Denniston bringing it back up on the live replay. And I think we are back to the live feed. So there's Andy Norman. I think he's still in second place.
Yep, he's going well.
Oh, Laurie, he's really struggling. You see the Englishman. He's pushing it there.
Andy's off.
So Andy's in second. So this usually one of the runners from this section ends up scoring for a team.
Yep.
Because there's only 3 from each section in the top one.
Okay.
And at least one of them will have a bad day. So we're going to try and get the camera back on Gabe, I believe. He should be a bit.
Should be in the final 200.
Yeah, he'll be running around in the home stretch any time now. I can actually see him right now. He's turning the home straight, bringing it home.
Yep.
He's going to hopefully can break 5:20.
He will. I'm going to say 5:18 from here.
Yep, I think 5:18 as well. So if he can push through here, he really could be a key component for Canada. He's hammering home.
That's a good run. To run a PB, PR on the world stage is great.
So crossing the line right now, so even maybe 5:17.
Yep.
We'll wait for the official results, but that's an incredible run by Gabe. Congrats. He's obviously quite pleased with that run, a 13-second PB PR on in an international one.
There's a sprint for second here.
This is two Englishmen, Laurie and Andy, best friends, best mates. Oh, he's going to get him. Andy's calf just seemed to have pulled up there. Oh, and there's Tyler again. So Laurie comes in with what could be important with a 540 and about 542 for Andy. I'm sure we'll hear Andy in here. I think he plans to come help commentate on the top section. So we'll see. And here's our other finishers. There's Todd Rose for
sub
America.
6,
Still sub 6, which is still quite the feat. I mean, I don't have it pulled up, but maybe only about 100 people ever in the world have broken 6.
I think a little more now.
Maybe about 200.
Yeah.
But still, to do that on the world stage is much more difficult.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Here we've got Dave Hallard from England coming in.
Good finish.
Yeah, 6:12. And to have some of these athletes, Todd and Dave Hallard, they're over 40 years old. So if I'm 40 and breaking 10, then I'll be happy. So
it's pretty hard at this point with the Masters record of Jim Finlayson, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Cunningham and Markle jogging it in now. Obviously both a little off their best, but you know what? That happens sometimes. We've all been there.
Oh.
So rounding out the field here, I think we had that was the Frenchman that just jogged through. Oh, there we go.
French record.
There we go. So, I mean, I think because it's time.
It says 6:45.
Oh, gotcha.
Here.
I had it written down wrong.
Yep.
6:45 was the French national record, and I think he was about 6:30 high. And we've got the crowd cheering on Tyler Denniston on his penalty lap here.
You see into the final 800 here.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with Josh and run down to the track to see how the measurements are doing.
Yep.
To see if we've got any disqualifications.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So Tyler's coming in here. Clock's on 7:15. We're looking for him to come through, and we'll give you a bit of an estimate as how he's going to finish. Okay, goes through in about just under 7:30, so he's going to be under 9 minutes, that you would say. But that was a great race. Gabe was very, very good out the front there, and as Lewis just said, we've got to wait for the official measurements, because in the women's race, that changed a lot from the finish results to the official measurements and disqualifications. So I guess stay tuned for that. There still could be some changing of the results, but from where I'm sitting, Gabe looked very clean, and it looked like he was 100% smooth. So Tyler into the final 200 metres now. Looking to run roughly 8 minutes 50, I would have thought. Still looking smooth, but it's once you've gone into that penalty lap, it's very difficult. You've already had 4 beers, your stomach hasn't agreed with you, and you've had to finish with an 800 metres. I've done it before, and it's not easy. So he looks happy. He looks like he's had a good time. The crowd are giving him a good cheer. And there we go, 8 minutes 49. So we've got, there's the replay, one of the replays. We saw on that third and the fourth beer, he let a little bit out there, but we're going to go to an interview, guys, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're there with the winner of the second heat there. So Gabe, pretty happy with his results. So in a moment, we're going to be cutting to the elite section. So this is what we've all been waiting for. There's going to be a lot of action. I could hear that Laurie might have been disqualified just from listening out the window there. So I guess we're going to have to stay tuned. Okay, they're about to line up on the start line here. So Lewis is back in. He's just about to join us back up in the box.
All right, we're back here in the audio booth for the marquee event of the night. I mean, we got quite a good show there by Gabe. That was quite the impressive run. And we don't have official results from the first section.
I missed his audio. He was happy with his result, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was quite happy with that. I mean, he's been traveling quite a bit, and he was unsure. You know, there's all those question marks.
Here we go.
So we're waiting official results from the first section.
Yep.
But once we get the official results,
Do you want to go?
once the official results come in from the second section, we'll let you know about the team scoring. But as of right now, Canada has the first finisher of the night with about a 5:17. So we're looking forward to this top section. So our commentators from inside to out.
Competitors.
Competitor. Competitors from the inside to out. Dale Clutterbuck has been called up to the line already. He's on the inside there. Second is Chris Robertson. So on the screen here, you'll see on the top left, that's Dale Clutterbuck, our second place finisher last year, 3:38 1500 meter man. Most would say he's the favorite, but it's a tight bunch. To his right there is Chris Robertson, 4:46 a couple weeks ago, the world lead this year. So he's the fastest this year. I'm just gonna take a 1 second break here. If you can get live results. Brandon Shirk to his right. Then we have Phil Perot Migas, and he is one of the most experienced beer milers as well, having a PR of 4:55. It'll be interesting to see how he fares today. So at the bottom there's Phil up on the screen. So number 9 all time in the world. It's going to be interesting to see how this one. This is the marquee event of the night. I've been waiting.
There's a lot of talent in this race, and it's a very exciting field. You know, in the absence of Corey Bellamore, you've got and yourself, of course, Lewis. We've got everyone else in the top 10 times, perhaps.
I think so. We've got between all the men, we have 16 of the top 20 all time. So that's like the deepest. Like the flow track one only goes 10 deep. So 16 of 20. So I'm third and Corey's first right now, technically. So missing those two, but apart from that, you've got the class of the world right here.
Absolutely. Now it's a real shame that we don't have Corey and yourself running. Is it a stress fracture? Or is it a torn patella? I think.
Yes. So I have a torn patellar tendon right now, which has kind of suffered me the last 10 weeks or so, but hoping to heal up in the coming months, and hopefully I'll be on that line next year. But we've got like class of the field here. You'll be able to talk about Ben Coldray there a little more.
Ben Coldray, he's an interesting character. He's a 3:43 1500 meter runner at best, a 4:03 mile. He actually made a living as a male stripper through university, which is interesting fact about Ben.
To Jim Finlayson at the bottom here. He is the legend of the beer mile, known as the Godfather. He is 45 years old.
This guy's amazing.
And he's run 5:01. Like when he was 43, he ran 5:01. So he's been trying to break that 5-minute barrier. He's told me he thinks he can do it. He's actually traveling to Iceland this next week to try and break the Canadian 45-plus half marathon record, which is he's trying to break 70 minutes. So that shows how fit.
Now, I've done the Iceland Marathon myself. It's an amazing country. It's a beautiful place. I'm sure he's going to enjoy that. But he is a legend. For those that don't know, Jim Finlayson has done a beer 2 miles.
Yeah.
That's 8 beers. And we see how hard it is to keep down 4. What has he done in the beer 2 miles? And I think it's around 10:40.
Or 11 something. All right, we're on our marks here. We're on our marks.
Here we go.
This is the marquee
And
event.
here we go.
We should see Corey
The time
Gallagher
is
come off the
off.
line first here. So Corey Gallagher off first, but I mean Dale Clutterbuck, meant to be the runner of the group. So Gallagher's in the lead.
He's a great drinker, but there is Dale Clutterbuck, and he is going.
And Ben
Coldray is also. I mean, as I say, he's a 3:43 1500 meter runner. He's recently come back from altitude training, and Ben actually goes into the lead there.
I mean, I wonder if
he's a class runner.
I wonder if this is
this
a plan.
tactics?
Yeah, so they're both
Is
competing.
he pacemaking?
They have slightly different bibs on, but they're both competing for England. And I wonder if Dale wanted a world record attempt and, said, Ben, let's try. So I've got the world record splits in front of me. If you were to run it evenly, we'd need to see about 68 seconds per lap. But Corey Belmore last year opened in 62.5 with the beer. So he ran.
I mean, that is just obscene.
He ran 57 seconds for the opening run. But I mean, Dale is flying right now. I mean, we'll get it when he grabs a beer. 62.5.
Oh wow! I mean, that is 60.
What's he at? So he's at 64.
64 seconds, including a beer. So he's basically running 60 laps. Maybe under, maybe a 59 lap with a 5-second beer.
Yep, he's got the beer. He's definitely cleared the beer.
Oh, and he's cleared the beer there. 75, and he is out.
Yeah, so.
And that was a very good beer there. Was that Brandon Shirk?
Yeah. So Jim's out there as well.
Jim Finlayson, the vet.
Corey. There's Blanchy on the inside.
Charlie Blanche, the legend that is.
So most of these guys have competed in international beer miles before. We'll see how they're doing in a second. I can see out on the track, Dale has got about a 40-meter lead on the field, which second is Shirk, and
is that Garrett Cullen?
We've got 3 Americans chasing, so that's
and Chris Robertson.
All
Shirk, 3 Americans,
and then Phil's a few meters behind.
And there's Ben Coldray. He's running with the Ghost.
He's getting swallowed up by Jim Finlayson there. So it's going to be interesting. I kind of thought Dale would get after it early.
Wow, Dale is going some here.
So we haven't. The thing is, we've seen him training all year in all these videos, but we haven't seen him attempt a fast one. So I'm really curious to see how he's run a 5.0, very much jogging.
Yeah.
But it's a lot tougher, from my experience, when you're running hard and you have to breathe, right?
He's been doing some fun training sessions. I mean, we saw him do a 10K with 10 beers in 39 minutes.
2:19 at the half, so he's a little bit off pace. He's on around 4:40 pace right now. He's really making sure to finish those. Oh, that's a break. This will give Chris Robertson a chance to pass him here because he's not going to take a break. No chance. So that's Chris Robertson into the lead. Shirk's a bit back, and so is Cullen. So Chris Robertson's taking the lead, and he's got about 10 meters. So just to compare,
I expect Dale to try and pull him back in now. It's all going to come down to the last beer and the last lap. Dale is the quicker runner, but
so Chris,
he's struggled with that third beer. And
I have no idea what Chris Robertson's 1500 PB is because he's a marathon runner. So he runs about just over 220, I think, for the marathon, mid 220s. He just did it out of nowhere and decided to run it. So I mean, Dale definitely has the speed, but I've been out there and outkicked. Like I've closed quicker than like Nick Simmons, an Olympian, just because the beer really bothers you. So
absolutely,
Dale may have gone out too hard here. There we say Jim and Phil, and this is key for Team Canada. Gabe won the first section, but we had 3 Americans in a row there, and if they can hold on to 2nd through 4th, they'll win the team competition. That'll be a lock. So there's Chris. Dale's really
close. Here we go. Dale is close right on him. It's going to be down to the last beer.
They're off world record pace, but it's going to be a real exciting finish here. That's about 3:38. So
here we go. Chris Robertson versus Dale King Clutterbuck.
And I think he's no way he takes a break on this one. He's just going to get
after. No, he's going to have to get this down.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be an exciting. That may be interesting to see. There was a lot of beer left there, but we need Jim Finlayson to come through here if Team Canada's going to get anyone, and Phil too. So just looking out on the track right now, we've got Chris Robertson's he's got a commanding lead.
He's got a good lead there.
It looks like unless he has something come up, he's going to take the win here.
Where is Dale?
Dale does not appear to be on the track anymore.
He is.
He's chundering.
He is not. He is sick. He has pulled out the race.
And Chris Robertson is hammering. I can see him on the track right now. He's really bringing it home. Wow. It'll be interesting to see.
And anything can happen.
So USA is holding strong still right now. Jim is closing quick on Brandon Shirk. We've got Chris Robertson coming in first down the straight. On the corner, we've got Garrett Cullen. Brandon Shirk in third, but Jim Finlayson closing quick. So we're looking around. So it won't be a PR, but it's going to be real close. So 450 points unofficially for the win there. And that'll be Chris Robertson's first international win, so he'll be real happy with that. And there comes Garrett Cullen.
Just outside 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5:01. So Gabe actually may come into play here if they're too slow.
And that's Johnny
Garrett.
Curry going out on his last
So
lap.
that's Americans have gone 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
So that's
there you go.
We've got
American 1, 2, 3. Oh, and there he is, Jim Finlayson.
And so Canadians have got the depth. There was who came across the line there?
Here's Michael
Gallagher.
Johnson.
Corey Gallagher. Kicked in a 5th. So as always,
John Taylor with a 5:23. That's very good.
I'm gonna leave Andy on here and go check the measurements, because if one of those Americans didn't get disqualified, they've won. But if one of them has, they're in big trouble, because they're
here
fourth.
is Scott Sterling.
Their fourth guy is quite a bit back. So if one of them have been disqualified,
well, let's hope all they pass all their beers now. Here we go. This is Ben Coldray was in around in the late 5:30s as England's second runner back. And there's a penalty lap going on there. And here's Team Scotland. And there's Johnny Curry finishing off for Team Scotland. Last year, Johnny had to do a penalty lap. This year, it looks like Johnny's doing a penalty lap again. Phil Paromigas. Did he do a penalty lap? I think so. He's finishing on 6:32. So not a great day for the Canadians. Not a great day for the English. Not the best day for the Scots either, but the Americans, great performances. Here's our lone Frenchman in the field, finishing off here, right around 7:02. And all the hype before the race was of Dale Clutterbuck going for the world record. He's put in some really good training sessions, but the beer mile is not easy, and as all of us have experienced, even the best of us can sometimes just not hold that beer down. And here's the replay of Dale just after the dropout, and he's really retching. He is struggling there. He's in a world of hurt. And here's the replay.
He's at 3.9. The foam has stayed at so 3.9, and they've still got a little bit of foam to let it settle. So he may.
Oh, so Chris Robertson, the victor here, is very close to being disqualified. So they're just measuring out the cups right now. Apparently, Chris is at 3.9 ounces with just a little bit more foam to settle. So it's going to be a close call as to whether Chris remains in the race. Now we see a lot of disqualifications. You saw it in the women's race, and we saw it in the B section there with the likes of Laurie Luscombe being disqualified for 5 ounces remaining. The rules, of course, stipulate 4 ounces is all that's allowed to be remaining at the end. You'll have seen myself in the last section. Fantastic fun to be running out there in the beer mile. You know, I'm very, very unfit, but happy to have got round and I think finished second in the end with 2 ounces remaining. So it's all about getting the beer down, keeping the beer down, and making sure you get all of it down. There's not many athletes that can drink the speed that these guys drink, but also run with a belly full of beer.
Falls King Warrior. He's our heart and soul of this race, so we can't say thank you enough to Nick. So we've officially been given the news that Chris Robertson is your champion for today. Do you want to talk about let's talk about your race first. How'd you feel out there?
Not the best, honestly. But the whole point was just don't run too fast. Make sure that I have enough breath left, and I got all the beers down in one gulp, which is something I haven't done in the past, and that's why I've lost in the past. So It was good. Just got the beers down in one gulp. That was the main thing.
Awesome. So we saw an interesting, Dale really took it out as expected really fast, and you were patient there, which is a great strategy. You don't want to go out too fast. But if you talk about the last few minutes, we've been waiting anxiously. We're really, really close to being over. So we measured Chris at about 3.9, and you're allowed 4. So he's officially won, but it was really close. So, you did a good job, and you want to talk a little bit more about your run out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was really close, really nervous.
Absolute legend.
Definitely nervous at the end. The whole thing was when I got up with Dale on the 3rd lap, I was like, man, I got to get this last beer down as fast as possible. So maybe a little dropped off a little too early, maybe a little risky, but thank God it worked out.
Yeah, I couldn't see on that last lap. Did you look back and see that Dale had stopped? Because Dale did have beer come back up, so you kind of had it, but you still brought it home, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's your first international win. Do you want to say any shouts out to family or friends out there? I mean, big win. So.
For sure. Thank you to my parents, my fiance, all my Fleet Feet team members, everyone who's helped me get to where I am. Thank you to Beguile Brewing and Fleet Feet Sports for sponsoring me, and I appreciate everyone who's helped me along the way.
Awesome, and I think we can officially say that Team America has won as well, as you guys went 1, 2, 3 in the race. So
awesome.
yeah, you can't beat that score. So congrats, Chris. Thanks.
Lewis. Thank you.
We're just gonna get some photos with Chris here shortly, but I may call over the Canadian squad and get a little interview with them quickly. So, hey boys. So we're gonna get the Canadian crew over here. We were going for the 3-peat this year, but it was a big ask. Corey was such a strong competitor last year, and without Corey there, it was a big ask. So we're gonna join them here. We've got Gabe, we've got Phil, and Jim and Corey Gallagher are gonna join us as well. So, boys, you know what? You guys gave it everything you had out there. The American squad was stronger than ever before, and Gabe, we got you before, so I'm just gonna go to the other guys. Jim, you seem to have you were hunting everyone down over the last half of that race. How'd you feel out there?
I gotta say, felt pretty consistent out there. There wasn't really a bad patch. I can't say I ever felt amazing, but I think just pretty steady throughout. So, yeah.
Okay, so we're still waiting official results, but I think Team Canada would have come second. I need the official results, but I'm pretty sure Canada will come second. So we're gonna get to Phil and Corey over here. How'd you guys feel out there today?
Today was not my day. Went out hot with the pack, and then around that 4th lap, I tried to pick it up a bit, and then I don't know, the gut wasn't sitting right. So that's the thing that beer malt doesn't do. It's a 50-50 shot on how your gut's gonna go, and today wasn't a good day. And
that happens to the best of us. So Corey, you actually had an incredible close there. I didn't even, no offense, I didn't see you in the camera shot, and then all of a sudden you were like, I think you finished maybe 6th there in the race. Yeah, so I think you might have been 6th. How'd you feel those last couple laps? It looked quite incredible.
Felt fine, Problem is I just can't hit those speeds that these guys are doing. It's not that I'm, my chugging's good, everything else is, it's just I don't have the wheels, man. Yeah. So.
All right, well, Team Canada, it's still first and second. I mean, we're still, I think next year we're going to come back stronger and fitter, and hopefully we bring home the win. But I believe we've got a relay going on. Do we have a squad of guys who are going to attempt a 4x4?
We're going to try to keep our first place finish on that.
All right, so we've relinquished our 3-peat in the regular race, but we've also won the 4x4 both years. So we're going to have a few of these gentlemen on the track shortly for a 4x4 relay. So thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Michael Cunningham, second overall at the first ever International Beer Mile.
How did I do today?
2014 Flow Track. How'd you feel about today? I mean, you're obviously having a good time out here.
My chugs were phenomenal. I felt like I've drank the best I ever have. Having run maybe 10 days in the last 6 months, I think it went okay. So there we go.
All right, so are you towing the line for the 4x4 here?
Oh Lord, potentially. I mean, I don't know what my entire lower back has seized up, potentially permanently. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, so I think we're gonna go to the women's awards soon, and then the men's awards. But we're gonna wrap up this live feed on the track. Yeah, so we're gonna walk over here and see the beer measurements if we've got enough footage on the mic. So here you can see the camera will zoom in 1 more millimeter of beer in his beer. He would have been disqualified. So that's, that's what we see in elite beer miles now. Every millimeter counts. So that's quite exciting. If we maybe get a pan across, Dale Clutterbuck, the first one there, he did not finish. Brandon Jerk in third there was clean. Phil in 4 there, that was a disqualification. Number 5, Corey Gallagher, he's clean, obviously. Garrett Cullen came second, very clean. Charlie Blanche, disqualification on number 7 there. And as we pan across, we had a few more disqualifications, but no matter what the outcome here, Team USA is on top. So hope that's a little insider action for how we kind of do the measurements here. It's very legitimate. All the beers are grabbed from the buckets and then poured into the beakers, and 4 ounces is a disqualification. So kind of that's the inside scoop. So I think we're going to keep the live feed going for the 4x4s, I believe. But before they start, we've got the men's and women's awards. So I think we may go back to the camera up in the stadium just to kind of get it zoomed in on the men's and women's awards. And you'll see the 4x4 from those cameras, and we'll come back down here and hopefully get the Canadians winning the 4x4 on the live feed after. So tune it out for now.
So back on here with Andy Norman live. You'll have seen there was a lot of full glasses right there when they were measuring after the race. So I'm not sure exactly what position we're going to be in here, who's been disqualified, but you saw that there was many glasses that were over the 4-ounce legal limit. Now, I definitely saw Charlie Blanche had a full glass, so he'll have been disqualified. A couple of the Americans, in fact, all of the American glasses looked relatively full, so there may have been a couple of disqualifications there, potentially even the winner, Chris Robertson. So we're just awaiting decisions on that. Here's a replay of Chris coming in to the finish here. It was a fantastic run. Really took it to Dale Clutterbuck and really put some pressure on him with some really fast drinking. Dale just really struggled on that third beer and just couldn't keep it down. It was around 4:52, but we're just waiting to find out whether Chris was disqualified. It looked like the Scots kept all of their beer down. Very little left by the Scots. So some good drinking by the Scots in contrast to last year. There was a couple of penalty laps there, especially for Johnny Curry, I saw. But yeah, we just await the decision on these remaining beers. So you see very strict rules with the beer mile. So you've got to keep the beer down. You can't leave more than 4 ounces. And yeah, it's stringent rules. And here you'll see. I think they're just getting ready for potentially maybe it's another relay. A relay event, I think we've got here 4x4. So we've got a Scotland team there, we've got an American team, and some open teams. You see Laurie Loscombe there diving in for the. Maybe we've got an England team here. I'm tempted to get out on the track myself, but probably not. I wasn't even meant to be running in the B race. I actually had 11 beers already today, so it's probably not a good idea. We are on the live feed still, yeah, okay. We are. So do we have a decision, Lewis?
I do not have the official printed results. I'm sure we'll get those soon, but there's no possible way. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 for America. I know the top 3.
We saw a lot of left beer there. I saw certainly Charlie Blanche's glass was completely full.
Yes, so the 2 DQs notable in the first few, Phil was just over for Canada, and Charlie Blanche was overflowing there, so he's out.
They couldn't even fit it in the glass.
The reason it took so long to call is that if you saw, I don't know if you were able to see it on the feed there. I think you were, how close Chris Robertson was.
A lot of them were very close, yeah.
So that's Chris Robertson there, but it really does come down to science. So, I mean, good for him to know he was good. And, when he thought he's going to be running against Dale, and Dale's got maybe better leg speed, he might have left a little in that last one.
Absolutely.
But when America goes first, Chris Robertson, second, Garrett Cullen, third, Brandon Shirk. You can't beat a perfect score, can you? Score of 6.
That was very impressive by the Americans, and we were saying just in your absence there when you dipped outside to do the interviews, I was saying it's not been a great day for for England. It's not been a great day for Canada either.
No.
But the Americans have been very impressive.
Yes, the Americans really, first year of the World Classic, they were meant to win, and they really choked. So I'm sure Nick McFalls, the Americans, is very happy that America's finally took home a title. What you're about to witness is the beer 4x4. So this happens every year after the beer mile. Technically,
now, we've seen some incredible performances last year, and recently I saw a video of a world record by England, 340 something for the beer 4x4.
Yeah. So how it works is you have 4 runners. You pretty much take turns and do a beer mile. So you chug your beer, you run your lap, tag off to the next runner. So I know we've got a Scottish team on the inside there. You got Phil coming in second.
Canadian team there.
An English team that Laura.
It might be a women's
England
team.
Where's
and Laura with a women's team.
And the American team on the outside, but Shirk's got a can. Phil's got a bottle.
He got no bottles left.
Oh man, the Scottish guy.
Did Johnny even finish his beer?
He didn't even touch it, I don't think, to be honest. He just took off. So I think we've got a Scottish DQ off the line.
He can't have drunk that.
He just opened it and dropped it. At the end of the race, we'll go back to the start of the race and try to get a live replay.
There must be a DQ there. He definitely did not drink that beer.
It was about 1.2 seconds to his lips. So
I mean, not even the two of us can drink that quickly, eh?
No. So Phil looks to be in the early lead here, and he's past Johnny, who didn't even touch his beer. So.
Oh no, Johnny's still out the head there.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's so far ahead because he didn't drink his beer.
Yeah.
I mean, we might look back on that and find that we're wrong. But
so we've got England.
Or
no, that's
sorry,
Ben Coldray. So we've got England, Canada, or England, U.S., Canada, because we're just going to give the Scots a DQ already, because that one wasn't finished either. I don't think.
I don't think they finished that one either.
So
unless the Scots have developed an ability to drink in less than 2 seconds.
The race is really here, but Oz. Who does Oz have left? Or sorry, who does England have on the other legs?
Laurie Luscombe just put that one away pretty well.
Did Ben tag to Laurie? Do we know?
Ben tagged to Laurie.
So you weren't in the lead after that chug then. I don't think.
I mean, it's confusing because the Scots were blatantly cheating here, and
the Scots are about 100 meters ahead of the field. But we're going to discount them because we'll see the live replay later. But he didn't finish that first beer, so that's a disqualification. We've got on the back straight. If we can get the camera there, I want to say we have USA in second. It's interesting because we usually have 4 men's elite lineup in a row. But it doesn't seem like any team has managed to pull four elites in a row.
Let's see if the Scots actually drink the beer this time. Here we go. So they're coming in. They are miles ahead.
So who's going now? That's Tyler.
And it's Tyler now. He's going to drink it. Tyler to drink the beer.
Oh, no. Oh, he's not.
Oh, come on, Tyler. What are you doing?
So
that is the disgrace.
Look, you can see the beer.
You can actually see
the camera.
The beer
is
up.
The beer. Look at that beer.
Oh,
that is not finished.
Looks like he didn't even start that beer. What are the Scottish
live from the track
here?
right now.
They are doing the no beer mile.
So we've got England tagging right now, and I think Canada tagging right now.
And there is Laurie Luscombe. He would never waste.
And America's taking
Niall
off.
Fleming there on the track. Now he's a very talented young athlete.
So if we can get the camera on it, quite interesting is Chris Robertson for America's running, who's our men's champion, and Phil's brother I think is running for Canada. We're about to see them around the corner, and Phil's brother Thomas has passed Chris Robertson.
Oh, amazing.
He's obviously got fresh legs, but no beer mile experience.
And he looks fast.
So he's bolting. I mean, Chris Robertson's got him in range. Hopefully we can get a camera on that.
There's Mike, Lords Hill Roadrunners.
You know, as an athletic person who does a max 400, they usually sprint from the gun and tighten up quite a bit the last 100. So I can see it from here. Chris Robertson has officially passed him.
There's the Scottish cheats that have just finished. We'll discount them.
They're going to run.
Oh, no. Sorry. We've got Scott Sterling, who also didn't finish his beer.
So
they're just going for a 4x4.
They're going to break 4 minutes, but it's going to be heavily unofficial. So America tags off now, our official leaders, and Cullen's going. And we've got Gabe for Canada, but he's using a can. So America's looks to be taking it home here. Gabe is now taking off. So it looks like America will win.
So here we go. It's nothing like the world record, but it is
just as fun to watch.
It's equally as fun to watch.
So we'll have America coming, or Scotland.
There's a side tilt of the head there on that beer.
There's Ben Coldray.
Ben
Coldray.
And he is
in a
world of pain there.
The Scots are coming in now. Here's the finish from Scott Sterling, and we'll say an extremely unofficial 4:05. I think that may have been malicious.
It's still outside the world record.
I think that may have been malicious attempt there. So we're gonna
Johnny Hay. That's a very talented athlete, Johnny Hay.
We'll see the Americans come in. This is the official winners of the race, and as you can tell, all these guys have done a beer mile before, so they're it's a lot tougher that way. And women's 4:27 for the win unofficially, and Canada. Gabe is got about 50 meters to go. You'll see him on camera very soon. There he is, and I'm just gonna throw it out there for. I believe Gabe will win Rookie of the Meet because his first ever international beer mile, and he may have ended up being. I'm trying to get the results still, but he would have finished top 10 surely. With 5:17
easily. I would say top 5. Yeah.
Maybe even top 5, but I mean, and even that there. Shout out to Gabe on maybe most improved. We can give him that award right now.
It was a fantastic run by Gabe. After that first beer, I never really saw him again.
Oh, Ben Coldray is just outside the audio booth and being absolute sick. As we have here our 4x4 finishers coming in. That's Michael Cunningham. He was interviewed earlier. Not quite in the form he used to be, but he's still having a good time, which is what it's all about.
He just got out. Oh, there's some press-ups. We've got a Isaac McCualla type finish there.
Yeah.
We also saw Johnny Hay just crossing the line. Another sub 14-minute 5K runner, England International.
There we go. Oh, here's the replay of the Scots. So we're going to go back one more time there. We missed him, actually, because he spiked it so quickly. If we could go back to the beginning of that video one more time, he honestly just took it and tossed it on the ground. Like, I don't even think it touched his lips.
I'm not even sure there was an attempt to drink it.
We're going to get one more sight of that, but Johnny is, I mean, all the Scots were quite criminal there.
The Scots must have had a team meeting before and decided that they would all not drink their beers.
Maybe they thought there was 4 ounces left in each one, we're gonna try and get back to that first. It's happened so quickly, so if you're on the live feed, you're gonna have to pay attention right away. It's as soon as the camera gets on him, he drops it. He can't. He may have drank in 1 ounce.
I'm not sure if he even opened it.
You're allowed to leave.
If he did, it was a waste.
You're allowed to leave an ounce, and he drank an ounce. So
if he opened it and dropped it on the floor, that is scandalous.
I'm going to leave Andy with you for a minute again and try and get the official men's results.
So we want to give you the official results before we sign off here. So Lewis is going to go and try and hunt those down for you. And we'll try and get some official results before we sign off here. I'm getting some personal messages here from a good friend of mine, Will Mackay. Says, give Polly Keane a big shout. Shout out to Polly Keane. And she actually featured in this relay in the women's division. Now you'll see here the replay of the relay, and it's Johnny Curry that went first for Scotland. He pretends like he's very close to his can when he's pretending he's gonna drink it. Oh, he tips it on the floor. What a waste! What a terrible waste of beer. I might have words with that young lad. That is a disgrace. I'm glad it was Heineken and not this beautiful bottle of Fire Rock Pale Ale that I'm drinking right now. That would have been a tragedy. That's a lovely hat he's got on. So what was the fun end to the evening, the relay? We always see some impressive times being posted. People getting round a lap and a beer in under 55 seconds. I just don't know how they do it.
That's G.
Okay,
so I am back now with the official results of the top section. Should have been handed the second section as well. But how they've determined it here is just based off the top section. Gabe should be in there, but it doesn't
Yeah, absolutely. So Gabe in the first heat with a 5:17 would have been 4th overall.
1, 2, 3.
Sorry, fifth overall. 5th overall.
Oh, they do have it there. Okay, so the paper we have in front of us is the top section, but Gabe's result, we know he was about a 5:17, and they have him in for 5th. So the win goes to Chris Robertson in a time of 4:52.1. Quite a good run on the international with all the pressure.
It wasn't so long ago that we were that most people thought sub 5 for the beer mile was impossible. And then we saw James the Beast Nielsen go under 5 minutes.
Middle of 2014, so only 3 years ago. So second place, Garrett Cullen, 5:02. So 1, 2, 3 for the Americans with Brandon Shirk coming in third with a 5:08. Fourth place, we've got Jim Finlayson, and I think he's come fourth at 3 in a row. You know, he's pushed. He's 45. You know, he doesn't quite have the leg speed that he used to, but he's still consistent every time.
I think we could count that as a vet 45 world record for the beer mile.
So then 5th overall would go to Gabe, top 5, first ever international competition, alone in the first section. So safe to say we'll
unfortunately.
see. Unfortunately, safe to say we'll see him next year in the top section. 6th overall, Corey Gallagher in 5:18. 7th, Michael Johnson in 5:22, and 8th, John Taylor in 5:24.
That was a great run by John. That was actually a debut for him. He
time
trialed just recently a 5:32, but yeah, it's his first beer mile, official beer mile.
He unfortunately just got pipped by Gabe for the top rookie. He almost got it, but Gabe had quite the good run. So
looks like there was lots of disqualifications in that first section.
So for that's all the official results we have. Michael Whitehead from Australia, 7:03. He would have finished behind multiple people in the first section, but Dale Clutterbuck, DNF as he had beer come back up on that 4th one and stopped. DQ for Phil Peromagus, Scott Sterling, Charlie Blanche, Matty Ralston, and Johnny Curry. So
Scott Sterling, that is his 2nd year on the trot. He's been disqualified.
So
when will Scott finish?
Official results, we've got England with a team score of 29, 8th, 9th, and 12th. Canada in 2nd as 4th, 5th, 6th for a total score of 15. And America takes home the perfect score of 6 with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
A clean sweep there, Lewis.
So
fantastic.
We will be signing off shortly. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Beer Mile World Classic. Wherever you are across the world, we appreciate the viewership and hope it was as fun to watch as it was to announce.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lewis.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay. That's it from us.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.